Oh, how the mighty have fallen. South Africa's favorite little trick, the race card, has finally reached its expiration date. And the best part? The world is finally waking up to their nonsense. You see, for decades, South Africa's corrupt leaders have clung to this victim narrative like a lifeline. We're oppressed, we're mistreated. The world owes us sympathy and support, all while they plunder their own country into the ground, failing their people at every turn. But now their magical shield of victimhood is nothing but a pile of dust, and their pathetic attempts to play the victim card are just plain embarrassing. Take a look at these clowns, the economic clown fighters, freedom fighters, and their sidekick Ronnie Lamola. They're throwing tantrums over the US, kicking out their precious ambassador, Ibrahim Rasool. Oh no, how dare America follow proper diplomatic protocol and actually hold someone accountable for their nonsense? Ronnie Lamola's over here babbling about how South Africa always emphasizes diplomatic channels of engagement. Yeah, sure. That's why they're now whining like spoiled brats because things didn't go their way. And of course the EFF is having their usual unhinged meltdown, threatening to burn down the American embassy like the mature, reasonable political activists they totally aren't. But let's set the record straight. The United States didn't break any diplomatic norms. They followed the protocol to the letter. They summoned the ambassador, Ibrahim Rasool, to the State Department. But guess what? He couldn't be bothered to show up in time. So his deputy went to receive the official notification instead. Not only that, but the United States gave him a full week to leave the country. And for the first 72 hours of that week, he was allowed to keep his diplomatic credentials to finish up business with other diplomatic missions. That's called generosity, not hostility. But of course, the South African government is conveniently leaving those details out, because the truth just doesn't fit their victimhood narrative. Instead, they're running around pretending like they've been wronged and feeding lies to their own people to keep the charade going. And then you have the European Union. Good old Europe, always happy to fan the flames of chaos when it suits their agenda. Their blind support for the ANC's corruption circus only encourages these crooks to keep playing the victim card instead of actually taking responsibility for their own failures. Think about it. They've spent years propping up the ANC, enabling their corruption, while pretending like they're somehow helping the poor, oppressed people of South Africa. It's a sick joke, and the only ones laughing are the thieves pocketing the money while the people starve. But here's where it gets really good. Even South Africa's own government can't keep their story straight. They've admitted they can't even defend what Rasool said. They're literally trying to play the victim card while their own hands are covered in red tape and hypocrisy. You've got Ronnie Lamola, desperately trying to play the part of a wronged diplomat, crying about improper channels when the truth is, the US went above and beyond to do things the right way. If anything, America was far too generous. If they wanted to, Rasool would have been out on the curb within 48 hours, no questions asked. But instead, they were given ample time to wrap things up properly. So here's the truth, folks. The race card is expired. It's old, it's tired, and it's not fooling anyone anymore. South Africa can't keep playing the victim with the same tired lies they peddled during segregation to gain sympathy. The world has caught on. And as long as the European Union keeps stoking the fire, they're part of the problem, not the solution. It's high time South Africa's government grew up, stopped blaming the rest of the world for its own failures, and took a good, hard look in the mirror. The pity party is officially over. Now what's it going to be, South Africa? Are you going to keep playing pretend while your country burns? Or are you finally going to face reality and do something about it? Because here's the kicker. Nobody's falling for your lies anymore. And if the European Union keeps playing along, they're only digging their own graves in the court of public opinion. Time to grow up, South Africa. The world's moving on.